Welcome to the world of amazing possibilities at UBA, where you can transact easily on our solid digital channels. That is star 822 hash. That is star 822 hash. That's the mobile app, internet banking. You can chat with Leo on iMessage, Facebook Messenger, on WhatsApp by simply sending hi or hello to 0577 822 822. So if you're a UBA customer, simply send to 0577 822 822. If you're not a UBA customer, you can still try that. And you're onto a good thing. You can also pay your GRA taxes and all other government services at UBA. Check out. And this one says, Ghana, are you ready to feel the performance from your car with a new Shell V-Power Unleaded? You know I love Shell, right? Then Shell V-Power Unleaded boosted with Dynaflex technology for performance and efficiencies here. This new formulation is boosted with 3 times more cleaning and friction reducing molecules. Shell V-Power Unleaded is able to clean up existing deposits. It'll help restore performance as well as efficiency. It's the only recommended fuel by Ferrari. And so drive to your favorite Shell station and try the new Shell V-Power, designed for performance and efficiency. Go well. It is the time on Peace 1043. Shouting out to you, Dr. Na. You're the head of GCB Bank Medical Unit. Enjoy the day, Dr. Na and Filu, Irabag, Peggy, Gifty, and Parkour is from K-Dance to all of you. And shouting out to you, Doreen Hammond of Graphic Communications Group. Good morning, Doreen. Have a lovely day. Shouting out to Lieutenant Uti Boating of the 37 Military Hospital. You knew I'd play the song, huh? And to all Phobia fans, this morning, I shared the song with several people, including Sam Yeoku, Kwabne JJ Pong, Mr. Rekwachi Mozo, Nana Kobo, Mr. Ken Impare, E.T. Akuno. You all have a great week ahead. Peace 104.3 yet why Jimmy Diana so and you pay me kasi studio no Ora Bright appear Executive Secretary Child Rights International Ewoha Ora Samioku National Organizer New Patriotic Party Mibri Trim na or National Youth Organizer managing doing youth Emma Aja ono kwa coin is boys abre na anope pese ka member hu asem kakra. Na yen started with Bright, but then say start to read. Youth. Hey, me who are you?
My feel power.
Hey, can you mean your power?
Nanka job me den kan yemi na so dem papa ne.
Just say it's now here more cry.
Ya na nkofonim. Na za na be youth na wow adaroma.
Adumo nyame adum.
Bana man kan ya pon no mama fro coffee. We don't do that. We don't say this. We don't say this on radio. Famous internet speak me to me about. Well, if you repeat the same thing, then don't come. Gradually, now he made me better. Now, Oyeno no is introducing me to several products.
Very good products.
I share the code name is 1738.
Very good.
A year of our Lord.
But I don't know. I am no come.
I'm making Chairman.
Minia, not the same.
It's your boy as your boy.
Into boy as your boy. Now, share Jessica Trans Stadium.
Send your uncle. They are Bobby Amico. Yes, there be no hope. I don't know the things na many am ya cry o my mom left it na car mu.
Oh sir.
Many o mu si me say Kokrokoo. You could do ya that just no has session mo bag. The National Women Organizer na MP.
Oh, the National Women Organizer.
So just you could na no me cover no say red and white into so we there.
Kate.
And I'm so ma say you say Kokrokoo. You go do one man no ma Aziz me Nasara. Aziz
there's on your phobia.
Aziz a flag no way. I say hey ma abutreo. Kwame.
Now I will pay so.
We go to need take so count.
And uncle
no but on a whole no, let me say officiating was solid.
Yeah.
That was my fear going into this match.
Say be a referee now.
Yeah, May 9th no was as a result of poor officiating.
Yeah.
Now when no concerns had been raised officiating prepare I think the game will go well. And I think the referee did a good job in all honesty. At the point, no, na I felt there be an infringement in it with no doors. But one year is also a match in the best say. But such a match, I think you need 4 critical things: spiritual, physical, psychological, and tactical.
Spiritual, physical, psychological, and tactical.
Exactly.
That
is in an African football.
Thank you.
Na European na tactical and psychological. Now when you say spiritual, and has for bombay. My fan is almost bombay. And Kokrokoo so Bobby. Many some, but why they almost bombay? And I just Bobby.
Obi a bombay.
Na we have physical and this what things na remember we messing Kokrokoo. At the point we were playing like Man City players in Accra. We almost so African football. Purely say, if you Jamestown Baby do partners and you make or break. And yeah, but there's any feel a palm it's but on a whole, I think it was a good match. The first half was too much tension packed. It's not game flow. But second half, and I think has lifted their game. They deserve to win.
Deserve to win. Tama go no by net was saying.
She said, "Me share no na the women organizer any more do kakra." She said, "Me sit am to cry the piano craft so." I said, "Yeah, boys, I bring manage Oni Aziz. To any who were left, who were right."
Na ni te kusu ru apam.
Na osa ko si omo pa ofie pa na say tutu egu asun the chairman. Me we na me fa me no ye place where we around airport.
Na o had here.
Say me ja was abrem question corner bi o no me fa drink kakra me to am. But on the whole I think I enjoyed it, but you also brought to the fore how we are growing as a country in terms of being good sportsmen and women. And sports enthusiasts. A point, even though has won, Stadium Honor has supporters of about 60%. Because it was their home match.
Yeah.
So that's a Kokrokoo from there 40% thereabout. Normally, the way even though has won, they jubilated nicely. Kokrokoo also accepted defeat also graciously. Like we enable say we're wishing in your better luck next time and I think it's a na idea I mean who in a while and we
only will be a friend Adon
baby
only will be a friend Adon
and I'm saying me am the friend no
me nia ba ko pa no
I don't say man penny aso
minim
ono handle man penny protocol near man
o tete me cry and no pay
Chairman
General, your team breached all the COVID protocols to win the match. And yet you are boldly jubilating on Kokrokoo. We forgive you. Don't do that on radio. Phobia doesn't believe in the 4 critical things. All they know is juju and tricks. I don't. If we know juju and tricks, you to go and do the juju and tricks on me.
Maybe I'm saying pie no boy. I'm saying spiritual no bobby.
Some bobby.
I had there no say there's a men na ya omokasa. Kokrokoo see you say. I don't academy football. Ghana hano there. Osum nyame see a straight. O free nyame so o free nyame ni. But say obebo academy football na busy there. And you could clearly see that the Hearts were prepared for the game. And Kokrokoo relied too much on Fabio Gama. When he was marked out, you know.
And I say, I'm marking out.
Nah, I didn't.
Marco for Brazilian.
Share has boys no mujina honoma. Chairman say member be say member. So I'm one akolane to every touch no that form. Every touch. The honest one team you want communicate in Portuguese. It has a sign language. Any who is not that form. I said na ye who ni papa o masreme pa the chairman weekend in.
Many of you were testing Charles. Charles will say, Samuel Buedu, the coach of Accra Hearts of Oak, has been approached by Arsenal to change their fortunes. Arsenal monitored the Ghanaian trainer, and since he took over the Ghanaian local club, the Arsenal board is convinced Mr. Buedu stands a better chance of helping change the fortunes of Arsenal. In change to be a coach, no call Arsenal. Minya ba penny bako efua asabia sai. Wachoni trim was a catcher Samuel Kusi.
Say your home now, your book, my boy, that or bossy and as in crying. The first leg a bebo cry if I as your home.
Hey, na Elgu, Obiquita video.
I'm saying only I am and
National Women Organization now left.
and then Nasara.
And Nasara Jinani left. And Nita could take down right. Yeah, you wabre, boys are bre. Hey,
now Aziz, I said, Lebao, or no back up. Chairman.
That's all on
Chairman.
What's in that?
Sarah, or perhaps delegate vote per election or Becona or Pebo. No man organizer, almost Pebo there, said, almost Babecan Yemo. I just had the one has delegate in
Qua vote, and so Emmanuel. But you see, in spite of all of this, yes, me has winning in Yaji. But senior Sika and Ama a NGB,
football have the mood in the nation.
Yeah.
But no, the hype before the match, and then there were people were openly showing where they belong.
Yeah.
The Kokrokoo side, the hard side, and Kusi at the, you know,
in Kabumbi.
At in Kabumbi Abba. And word me and I'm Sam George Kwana at a point.
When is Sam George, NDC Ningo Pram. Yeah.
And then your interviews boom. So like and so among the supporters, you know,
yeah,
whether the NDC or the MPP or the CPP, PNC on the Nyajuma. And lovely about it, so they say
which is the most beautiful part.
I think you can't underestimate what football can bring to a nation.
Yeah.
And I think we should continue to also hype other games. I've seen there's Allegon citizens, so I'm almost with me hype likewise other teams. So I think it's a good start. We just can't wait to have our lives back after COVID.
Yeah.
Now we can once again fill the stands, cheer our teams, and also give them that needed morale.
Hey, you were the center of attention, pal. Another picture of how we show dark glasses, no nose mask. Obviously, tell my wife I say near money.
You program. You say
let me send me your program. Me your program. And
initial comment, I think you have issues. But I said,
who you know, Dominic is here. Well,
I don't know what you like.
Hey, Nibofu. Hey. Oh, Dominic, one pound over for it. Oh, Dominic, you see a wise upset. Dominic, will be producer.
I think it was a good game. And for me, I salute the House of Oak players. They gave a good account of themselves. And me say 4 things don't work for us yesterday.
Thank you.
Also physically, and I feel so psychologically, they were prepared for victory. And lastly, so tactically, you could see that from the bench, they offered the best tactical support. I think we missed about 2 of that.
Sampine say, Massa, do the politics and stop Kokrokoo football politics. Sampine, why? Samson Yamiche from Hello FM or say the spirit of never say die. Masters, Samuel Kuku didn't sleep yesterday. Oh,
Ogusu presenter
Nanka. Chairman General, small win you win, you rub them in. Even with the lost Kokrokoo, diehard vandals like Samuel Kwa in the studio. Kindly give us some gun salute. Operation 9 points in motions. Vandals and Kokrokoo, we know ball. V-mate, sharp. Farouk, Nedebai. Farouk, when it comes to Hearts and Kokrokoo, there's nothing like small win. Say no say Kokrokoo pa. Omunkofa league require.
I love that. When it comes to Hearts and Kokrokoo, there's nothing like small win.
Small win.
When it comes to NDC and MPP, there's nothing like small win. 3 points, 3 points. 3 points, no.
Please acknowledge Accra Great Olympics. We were those who held those league before Hearts and Kokrokoo found their feet in the second round. We're in charge during the first round. Freddie McBruce, I agree with you, but you can't Nassim. Good fellow. Son good fellow. On not doing who many in Abano. Pictures during the match, after the match.
Last time we need league, you are house news on a 50p.
Yeah, can anyway, but football is about youth. I am Mebunu Agro. Enema NJ ni adie nyina eba ye memu ha ne wiase afana nyina enti na ha ball if age be 15 16 na a copy be 30 35 omo no mo ahonde omo de ball after 35 we won say na power ni nyina e form but mebunu komo etiseng Senem di kan Bright Appear Executive Secretary Child Rights International Sami Okuyo bia eba mebunu sem e Ghana ha obi anim. So Dimu Akotre Dianimo Papa, former national youth organizer of the NPP and now the national organizer. Na Bright Appear no edwuma no akwa report bi e fam mebuno hom. Bright, machi akwa babiom. Boko there.
Oh nyame adom.
Mo report mo hwehwe mu ne program de tu dwan na etise.
Oh kwame so Mejidi said there are some gray areas be over as a man no as yetimi.
Yeah.
Now, generally, no, near me the wompan is the young people of this country, no, have trust. Our my Ghana, and Omujidi says, see two and Amo Kakra Kahwa, and Yama Ebeye. Now, and Crofwa, Yadi Omo years our research, you know, 11,288.
11,288.
Yes, across the country, all the regions in the feature and I almost our age limit now share between 12 to 17 years.
12 to 17.
Now shall see somewhere in June 2020.
When it's such
because of the kind of information I penny how you penny into and you debate in April 2021 and analysis no. Na niema ye de yes our report na near person ye gauge mebu na yankora na dream on the matters that concerns them when it comes to development.
Okay.
And ye target issues of because we wanted to know whether they believe in Ghana and we wanted to measure their national pride and almost about 93% of Yankorano are saying they are proud to be Ghanaians. Na 80% of Francophone are very optimistic. Say this country in the next 20 years, Bibia ebeye amom. Na nyaman so ankwano society as a very yoshe the national pride ni say peace and stability one the topmost priority ankwano fi say yewa freedom of speech one of the things democracy na practice on Koranzo who say and our cultural diversity and then our natural resources omufi say sanya me nyina na momu nyagidi ewo man na the economy no so and Korano patches 60% of them may believe is the economy is on the right track and omugidi so say enyama ekoye kakra na on the basis of that ye bisa nkra ni bisa se enne omunya kwan ebe have a leadership position then omufi say ombetimi ayade aboa and nkra no dodo na ka say about 71% ka so ombe create adwuma entrepreneurship ni and 42% that ka so ombe fight corruption and 37% those can also improve education and infrastructure. And in terms of more priorities needed, this is the way on pese omunya kwenya ombetimi manage or mine. Now crowd been so high bisa omofa omo say eba management how do they see it? Inti bisa omo say ne your amount 5,000 Ghana cedis. What do you want to use it for? Dodona can say obey invest into education. About 51% on Korana can say they will invest into education. They've been some of the best started business, and they've been so save say sikano. And economy in terms of standard of living, yeah, cause economy, yeah, use all these jargons, GDP needs to measure it. We measure it based on the standard of living, the daily activities that AC will fear. I also on Korabrabom. And you know, about 60% of them, I can say, they still believe say Enyama Ebekoye. Now, and Koran also ye bisa almost say on my yetimi in the next 20 years, you know, then no mufi say si yetimi ya ebetimi ama on my no the kind of trust of more menum ebesipi. And Koran do 66% that can say yetimi reduce corruption ebeboa. And 48% do can say reduce poverty and also beboa. And 46% that can say you creating new jobs. Now standard of living also ekosra and also betimi aboama omonso enya sa gidi no mo no esipi ewo mabrabum na enkora no so the to just there are social problems ayewa esi etimi di hu adwuma na omoshe unemployment as a social problem omuhu the level of poverty, corruption and a high number of orphans and street children or more street no so the mufi say a social problem ye gidi say and also one of the things I say yetimima ye ni ekohu na nia nkora so hwehwe efa eti aban ho say ebia sa enne aban person oye budgeter areas say aban to be focusing on those areas enyama is aban to be focused on the first one 77% the employment creation omo gidi say
omo pay juma
aban should create a lot of work and investment in quality education 50% and our social protection system no and also 50%, infrastructure 37%, agricultural development 36% and security 22%. Na about is na o share Quran also you test their level of understanding when it comes to religion. The role religion play in the lives of Yankora and as the nation. In Quran, about 81% of them are saying religion is very, very important.
Okay.
But 73% of them are saying their religious belief, no, it's personal, but it's not affiliated to their parent association to a particular religion. So now Quran see it as a personal faith rather than somebody telling them that
something they've inherited from their parents.
And Quran are reasons why they feel say that they are taking that decision because one, Omujidi said, I will only be Omufia sorry, but the kind of principles or much sorry hono. When they come home, they don't leave those principles into no. It creates some kind of confusion in the minds of Ankrana as to whether they should follow the religion of their parent or they should create their own religion. Now, this is a bit an issue because of the kind of rule the moral discipline I say religion are playing. So if we allow the environment for children to determine on their own the kind of religion that they want to belong to, then a time will come, children will create their own religion. And if you say religion, it's more like a savior. Until gradually, say Yansheni answer maybe so bedu some so on Korano would have that kind of a yombe creature more kasa omo religion. Na ye bisan Korano say pass say omo Korano kasa den no mu hia wa brabo mu fi say omo ye betimi amo in the next 20 years no. Omo brabo besi omo ye. About 25% of Korano kasa hard work. The topmost priority say they have to be hardworking. And Quran also about 23% that can say educational qualification and individual talent 22% and individual effort 12% and status and lineage is 10%. Religion 5% and luck and chance 4%. And gradually, we are having a lot of Ghanaian children believe in the hard work pays. And if you are able to channel that kind of energy no more, I strongly believe say Enyama Bekoye ama Yankorano. And you be also about the kind of religion, the kind of education I had more mondeno. Is it relevant to the job creation market no more and I say whether it's relevant to finding jobs in the next 20 years. And on a banner, no, 50%, they were divided. 50% they can say yes, on beti me juma, and 50% is also the kind of education or munyas is here, no, is not going to help them because reasons of my and say we have not focused much on technical and vocational education. It is more TVET and apprenticeship. So you see, say children are not necessarily looking for say office a juma normal pay, but they are looking at skills are able to be almost survival. And if you are able to redirect our educational opportunities in that direction, I strongly believe say and also betimi abwa ama ankorano omugidie ewo manum so 18 na eba education no ne jobs no ye be some say what skills are relevant ewo omufi say eno ne ya ebetimi ama omo find jobs in the next 20 years and ankorado do na ka high level of training and skills 54% and an acquisition of technical and vocational skills 35% and technological and innovative skills also 12%. And clearly, children are saying say these are things that practically as encourage me acquire so that in the future no be me as standing here. Now, by agriculture so bisa agriculture, but ohono man define what agriculture is, but we realize the kind of definition that we give to agriculture, even within our educational system, is limited to farming. And our children have built their concept of agriculture around farming. And about 80% of Nkoraano parties say they are not interested in going into agriculture. The reason being that Omusano and I say Obi Akoraya Bonia Yakache on Concordo. And I say Sebio send a prof Debi Okase Omusanu uti nye ya almost so one go school obekwa kodo into na manner building some kind of mindset in the our Nkoraano team entimi. So we feel say moving forward about intervention in the agricultural sector we have to be very open and have a broader discussion in that area so that we can expose other agricultural opportunities to encourage within the supply chain so that our mindset will not only be on the fact to say agriculture is only farming.
Is it because we've been made to believe say near baby so now can say prof can say you swano we are born here so bakwa kodo say we nsuan dia bakwa kodo until we relegated the real essence of agriculture to so much into the background say
exactly
yehun as a lowly edumebi
exactly and Nkoraano so do na so part say Sabio, farmer is not attractive, because farmer need be new botai, and we have reduced the whole thing to Nkoraano say once our old dressy and not just say, you can contribute to the development of this country, but the real people who are contributing to development of this country, we are not exposing those people to Nkoraano. They tend to have that kind of belief system now. Na near yes bisa Nkoraano whether or not enne omunye opportunities on befi omamu ha ombekwa na and what are the reasons into omufi say ombefi omamu ha and na 55% they can say they will say they will migrate from this the country to other country for the purposes of almost society greener pasture as the first is called and education and a better standard of living, and so your reasons are Nkoraano my but ultimately say what do na or mutimi responding more of them are looking at greener pasture and then education until we further ask whether or not they will return back after omo person school whether they will return back to the country and also they were divided as to whether ombeba na say omo emba. But generally, you see, say there is some kind of a mindset. Ewa yankora numa mejidi say yetimi eshepu ni kakra. Na the ground for which I bit me eshepu that kind of mindset. Eyo mwanka say jidi na omo oma enimu say they feel proud to be Ghanaians and they are very optimistic. Say omano ebeye. So what then do we have to do? I see yetimi de bo Nkoraano. May I strongly believe say we should have a program for Nkoraano and middle class and aged no. These are the three ways I may say a bit because one, see our program for young people now then we begin to orient their minds towards national agenda. Once we have that national agenda, no, we know say the young people of this country, this is the direction that we want to give. Then that understanding must be there. Because one of the things I encourage lucky is and some of them said is since almost statical school, the history of this country has always been told in a different angles altogether. And there's no consistency in exposing the history of this country to Yankora. And if say Obi Abana or contributed to the development of this country, I feel say we should expose the positive angles and the positive contributions that Uncle Fonayo or Memuhano. Now Emma and build the confidence level of Yankora. But in most cases, no, we don't get that history being told in the manner as a bit me build that kind of patriotism and nationalism in the minds of Yankora.
It doesn't sound like over the time, we failed the young people.
Oh yes. I believe say you're failing Korana Kakra, but it's not late because Obiaba. No matter the form and Nipano they buy, I think that there are certain positive values that Nipano are impacted. I say it to me but we always fail to do that. Maybe political parties. Say me who MPP near Wabetra Waka NDC new house and pa. In the same way that me who NDC Nibia Wabetra can't. The positive thing that they are doing, a bit me build the whole and the give the children some kind of mindset because
so it's all about political point scoring.
Exactly.
And Mofano also see that.
They see that.
Now Omufi said that is the way to go.
That is the way to go. But there are positive things I also have made this a bit me because one now me catch Samuel Uku say for the first time, who say the way they have managed National Employment Agency, AMF, because
that's the youth employment
exactly
agency, yeah.
The past experience and all that, and the kind of decentralization of my is so nice. Why can't we tell the young people these stories rather than say "Bia obi be kwa koshe guemu na wakonya asemboni ba ko no dia tuja na eno na ba be national agenda na ye be discuss over weeks." And you know say children are listening. They are picking some of these things. And on the basis of that, no movies GDB anymore. But in them, no, once we define the national agenda to build that nationalism and patriotism in the minds of Ankorana, I think that it will be the first step.
So we've failed, but it's not too late to correct.
It's not too late. We have failed, but it's not too late.
Well, Dr. Sylvester Chejimfi says, "Tell Bright I got his back." What was the methodology like? Was it mixed methods? If it was, did they use a web survey, say online questionnaire? What was the qualitative method like? Was it the use of phones as well as follow-ups due to COVID? Or methods ben I'm using.
We use the stratified random sampling any day a year when you research Now because of COVID senior can you use tablets any the collected data and because we also want to ensure quality work once you enter the information, it comes back directly to us. And that is the kind of system I use, any of the collected data. And even in collecting the data, we took into consideration the rural and then the urban divide, and Ankrom school, New Moto Muni school, persons with disability, male and female, gender issues and all that were also part of the whole instrument that you use in order to get a true reflection of what out so that say back outer will not have some kind of difficulties with it. And basically, those are the things that technical people know usually in collecting the data.
In all of this, Obi Bisau say ne krakra ne saying ana summit apa dia na bitimiaka.
Near Mekan yes Nyankorano Kano. I will not reinvent any wheel, but to let us know that children are optimistic about certain things. So, for instance, children are recommending, even in our uniforms, we should use the African print. That is one of the things that Omokai and our national anthem we should give some backing. They say in schools, the way and manner they approach our national anthem, Sabio, and Shedanye, Papa. And we should give that attention to that. Then also to look at the school environment. I think that the design of a school environment must have a patriotic symbols. They be a cranu race kuma on himself simesi why say where a president contribution or they buy agenda or they buy any irrespective of whether the panel was able to achieve it or not. We should be able to tell say within this particular political party, the agenda or the bias or the Bible or man, say. So these things must speak to the minds of Ankara every day. And the children are also talking about issues, our educational system, we should focus more on the STEM program. Now,
science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Exactly. Now, you how best are able to because some of them want the skills, but not necessarily to be employed by government. They want the skills to be able to do the work on their own. And if you are able to give them this kind of skills now, I strongly believe say bibia betimi na about agriculture and so the American farm say we should begin to orient the minds of young Korano so that we don't only limit agriculture to farming, but to expose our children to the supply chain and every opportunity that exists within that, so that they will find it attractive and then work with it. Now,
right, just a few questions from listeners to Pacho. You may want to note these down now. We are not the Aboyan, but this one is just a shout out to you. Or say hi to Bright, my coursemate in Commonwealth Youth in Development Work. I'll see a friend David from Texas, USA. Into David Sochiao. Obi say, who is Bright referring to as in Kola? Are they SHS students, basic school students, or tertiary students? You should let us know to give us some clarity. Now, Alfie also says most of the time the answers the target groups give is based on the engineered question they ask. In other words, they put the question in such a way to drive or derive expected answers. So if there are follow-up questions, some of the answers could be different. In conclusion, they put the questions in a way to derive the kind of answers they want to hear. I don't know how you want to respond to that. Now, Gasti Man in Brekum says, ask Bright, what impact will their research make on policy making? And what steps are they taking to actually ascertain if the participants' response was realistic? I don't know. How do you answer to that?
Yeah, well, I think the first one, age in
12
to 17.
Meaning about Baba Kusimin say we should place more emphasis on STEAM instead of STEM.
Okay.
STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Okay.
STEAM, science, technology, engineering, agriculture, mathematics.
Okay.
I'll say let's focus a lot more on STEAM instead of STEM. Anyway, Pacho, meet you.
Okay. So for my interview, between 12 and 17.
12 and 17.
And basically they were in GHS.
STEAM not said then.
Science, technology, engineering, agriculture, mathematics.
STEAM.
A for agric.
Okay.
When STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Or see in front science, technology, engineering, agric, mathematics. Especially because of this issue you raised about almost agric punishment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Pacho.
And for the 12 to 17 interview, you could see the age range will determine the class or more.
Yeah.
And almost I'll be beside about the way we put the questions and all that. Because we want to gauge the understanding of Ankorano, we were very open on the things that we want to do. And we didn't give them answers that they should give us.
But or a youth in hibernation.
We asked that it's an open question and most of the things that they those were the things that you recorded here. There are certain instances that we close the questions, but it's not to the extent they say it will affect the thinking, because the objective of doing this research was to gain the understanding of children on some of these issues. And clearly, it is also on us to give them the right thing so that they can respond to it and all that. So we didn't shape them because we wanted a particular way of thinking and all that. Then to share most of the things that you could see clearly, there's been some kind of consistency in the answers at Ankrano at the MI, Into impact in it, we want the best for our children. And whatever it is that we need to do as policymakers, and even as parents, we have to begin to shape the minds of young Kora by engaging them, because in Korando don't also expresses they don't have so much engagement with society. We don't engage them. Bibiba intimate trans will fear any commercial saying your best say dear Busiano effort, and this is what we want to do for you and all that. Na yes, koya causeway, koya way. That is they take instruction rather than having engagement in terms of the way and Yama Bekono. Basically, this is what I would say in response to that question.
Interestingly, already a friend no Kofi Yankson. Kofi Yankson was CSIR, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, BRRI, Building and Road Research Institute, Kumasi. Or say agriculture is applied science.
Okay.
And is therefore science. So the the science should also be able to take care of agric. Okay. Now I tie it in with Ura Kwabna Kese Ediaba, or say with the STEAM, the A should be for the arts.
Oh, okay.
The arts in general. So the formal acronym should be science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Because I say, okay, no, honestly, the account Ura Youngson the by say the agric is considered a science.
Okay.
Into the science will take care of agric, but don't let us forget the arts as well, because the arts is quite an encompassing broad area. Yes. Well, so interestingly, Anope Yane Bright Appear, or Executive Secretary Child Rights International, and Etwichin Komoha. Anope research be on my year, Nanya Mombia Tujanum. And home common the fam titiru. Good morning, Kwame. Nice survey, but some of the questions are too hype for children. How would a child know? Tell the link between educational training they receive now and its employability trend in 20 years. Amadou Alassane, Czech Republic. And then ask Brighter Pierre what empowerment they've provided for young people under technical institutions. And Kuma Foster Achim Ayerebi Ena Ode Eno Ebae. Now, well, Obisua Otiya Anope, you say Yanfenchia Emma Ura Andrew Opombrenya. Mr. Andrew Opombrenya, you're the CEO of Sikapong Auto Trading Limited. Well, your sisters Ifia, Rosemary, and a Sikapong family say Yama happy birthday. Utrinkwa Ura Andrew Opombrenya, CEO Sikapong Auto Trading Limited from Ifia, Rosemary, your sisters, and Sikapong family. Samia Ukuyo Bia Waye Mebro Ejuma Ache. You've
I did part listening to the startling statistics and the revelations. I mean, are bright. They are two jobs. I mean, Anthony Abefa Cabo.
Hey, oh.
I mean, Councillor Lutrot.
Non de Michiano has said
today. Cancho Mumieno said, yesterday is gone. Another day has come. Don't me any Juma. Why? Romundi victory. No, now don't me any Juma. I pay for carbon councillor. Chairman,
yes,
I'm very happy, sir. And then away from the heavy politics in the morning, what table a very important topic about youth development. And Mebuno Kanko. And I'm sure that that's what this conversation is about. In the 90s, there was considerable level of agitation to educate the girl child. Obekaya, the likes of Nana Kunidu Ajman Rawlings, Madame Christine Churcher, Gladys Asma, Teresa Tego, Mone Ama Benyuado, Mone Ade, led that effort. Say they need to make sure the girl child is educated. And it worked. Until it got to a point that the girl child, and in terms of figures, enrollment, schools, and cultural, to some extent, baby, now the boy child felt threatened, said many more girls in eco school. I think, Massa conversation, and we pay was that you just started a movement, a boy to make the girl child educated. Girl child educated, so we are, or be a part of the bigger youth bracket. Because you see, and this discussion, it goes beyond the girl child or the boy child. Into youth, no one said now can. Oba, say you and AU there, 35 years and below. Oba, you and the political parties, especially I know that of the NDC and that of the MPP. Youth will be on attaining the age of 40. That is for the MPP. I think the NDC could be around the same thing. I stand to be corrected. Be as it may, just 5 years in the account. Chairman, the Africa is facing a very serious problem. And me put it together. My research document, African youth at the crossroads.
African youth at the crossroads.
At the crossroads. I try to delve into many of the factors are equity omuyedi. Because I've had the opportunity of interacting with African youth in Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Kenya, and Ghana, and then Ivory Coast. It may not be representative enough, but it's enough to draw some conclusions. The problems we're facing are similar. And high on it is unemployment.
Juma Omunya.
Now, Emebuno, working with them, Omu possess two traits. They can be constructive and they can be destructive. It depends on how we be manage them, now be engage them. With many panels, me bibi now chenet nas now nene kasa na dream ban hosun se we no oye no anye. And I'm very happy Sir Bright spoke about regular engagement. And I also think so say governments, not just in Ghana, but in Africa, previous government in general, about youth-related policies are. Because party bakoba and channel new one bar, no so the new set of policies. Or kwa need the agenda kwai.
Because you need national agenda.
Exactly. Into nipa no obi bia mu a ogidi say emrena me wom no coterminous with party e waban. It say aban ne kwa just what they are saying adwum say me party kwa me so ye ba e be yimedi. Rightly or wrongly. And I think say send this mebu tifia it adds on to the unemployment. So na NPP mebu tifia it adds on to the unemployment. Now you can only achieve goals here per se achieving when there's a deliberate effort on all of us our part. I think say about corporate social responsibilities of many of these agencies and institutions. It should not be just about CAC toilet, EAC blocks, and a borehole. It's good, but there should be a deliberate effort also set to be aside for entrepreneurship and EU development. Because Osha baby to say Germany, where they've been effectively been able to combine technical education, vocational education, and a classroom. In Germany, they've practiced this over 100 years.
Yeah.
So for a German person, I know what a technical school, our automobile mono. And you know what even a master's in automobile depend on. And I quite say I say you know, we also value more the certificate than the experience. Especially in UK and Europe. Obi betimi awie high school. One year masters, but don't know your supervisor. Because no training wadi na waye ni mu na ono afi na so wa be mu foforo. I'm very happy this conversation has started. And it's a challenge to government and future governments. I'm happy Nanado and the NPP administration is focusing more on TVET now. Osha, the last manifesto of the NPP, that's in the 2020 elections, where they've started opening centers of TVET. What we will encourage government to do,
and where I gladly say I'm a TVET ambassador.
Exactly. Interesting. Fred, someone in the team there, let me commend them. And I think Fred also they've been able to interact with the Germans. And say Napo started it. and educhum so twaso at the education ministry. Chairman, TVET a one step for us to take if we want to get many of the youth to believe in themselves on BTMI IBB. Because the formal sector cannot be able to employ many of these youth, regardless of the promises we make. In fact, because the numbers now are defined.
Yeah.
Nippon in the 60 years or retirement, I want to be replacing. But to be already 12 years can start business. And every business starts from conception. Kobe to say Botswana, Oko India. In fact, government even guarantees loans for startups. Oko Botswana now start to be they give you seed money. But yeno ebi eguso eko yenuma will get there. We share government support or the man in them. So President launched BB about a week or so ago, where businesses are almost also COVID, they are giving them some support and push to also get back on their feet and targeting the informal sector, any entrepreneurs. Kwame, every business starts from conception, but you can die with your ideas. Because Chairman, obey dismantle a DAC anymore. No assange. What fun to say a grow one and sound. But so one obey me so Eddie cash woman obey me be more. A COVID by Chairman, different kinds of Veronica buckets.
Moka boy be no here, be on the first.
Yeah,
say who and say
yeah. And or started with Barrow and I say we in nation, but it's over here not one migrating. I think say for us to move this discussion forward now, it calls for a broader consensus and stakeholder dialogue. Then all the political parties go political parties now at the end of the day now and they determine the destiny of the nation.
Yeah.
Because NPP etnemwana Ghana for this say Abraham Mako. Another party beba and also bana Ghana for GCT. The political parties will keep changing. Into one approach towards solving youth unemployment a key. America say educating the girl child was fantastic, but you don't leave the girl child in the midst of it because we're part of the bigger youth bracket. And then again, let me go to an area of the A that will text a bit account.
No. Art. Okay. Once you just hold on to your thoughts on that, maybe about 1 second. Just two quick ones. I want Bright to note. This one from Yao Obing in Kumasi. Yao says, how can children be interested in agric when Child's Rights International and some NGOs think sending your children to farm or helping the Kokrokoo farm is child abuse? Yao Obing in Kumasi, so punching you there. But Kwejo Ahodo in Scarborough, UK, also Kwame, it's sad to hear the negative perceptions people have on agriculture. I studied agricultural economics at KNUST. By the time I finished the course, I had done models or courses at almost all the faculties at KNUST. Agric is more scientific and an interdisciplinary and it's more interdisciplinary than we perceive it. It is more about the perception about agric in our societies, and it is good that people are beginning to find out how significant agriculture is. Agric is not a punishment. Agric is science. Agric is social science. Agric is way above hoes and cutlasses. The earlier we change our perception about agriculture, the better for us as a country. Kwejo Ahodo, Scarborough, UK. Okay, so Sami Bremo with the A, arts.
The art, but before even the A, let me use the A interchangeably for agric and the art. At St. Augustine's, I studied agric science.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, we share the perception, say, agric, you saw our primary school. We have been at the second chance as a Kodwa, right from the onset now. They are, and yet deliberate yet. But indirectly, they are telling you, say, weeding any agric punishment.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be. NPP's renewed focus on agriculture and not playing the politics here with the planting for food and jobs. In 2018, 2019, if you look at the figures, agric did very well in terms of our indicators. Why? Because now it got to a point, many more young people, even though still not the perception there's a punishment. People felt okay. They say seminya dia na se enyin kwa no a aban be boa me ato with the buffer stock. And that chain, was a ebia and then who produce ebia 100 bags na aban ato. Next time so produce 200 bags or better because no be an edema the school feeding for.
Yeah.
Now, one no ABI had employed 5 people on that farm. Say no because demands now cost over for 10 people. Are you are paying? School necessary enrollment now cost you the caterer now have to cook for more people. To that chain idea, you cannot even underestimate it. And I think we need to encourage government. Now datching biya send people are buying new home po not a buying for bar. Let's not say it wasn't our policy from the start, so we are going to do away with it. Because a key, that's the only way you can also achieve food security. And now COVID the buyer chairman we didn't really face food shortage. I have driven from Accra to Abidjan to Yamoussoukro and Boaké. Now that was in 2019. Oh, say you see, say food staff Ghana, they are crossing a lubo. But then first, na brilliant to say broad DNA contominiad. So agree is key, and I agree with Bright and all their texters. And you, but then no, some support the demand for seedlings, which now the ministry is doing, and supporting them with some machinery. Any other, I think say idea see intensify no near more in a cooperative system. Ebia mebumbe 5-10 bia aban ejojono kakra or paid capital be near the aboa say bia these young people no be able to say look agric is not it's not a punishment but the idea is also it can help the economy grow, it can also help you develop. But me chairman no ko Europe omo scar the farmers but I no ba entesa. Oh, I think we need to change that. Then the area of art.
Yeah.
Art. Share Ghanaians our talent, especially the young people. The creativity. And I am so happy. I have in front of me the Daily Searchlight. Problems in creative arts industry will be fixed in 24 months. Minister Awao, another fantastic gentleman. And so I can see the same in our finder in him say government to support creative arts industry with 5 million cedis. It's a good start. However, arts not on its own, that creative arts sector, chairman, it has huge potential
very much so.
To even credit the nation with serious cash. Why? Because Nipa no or Adriano or the creativity or the talent. And why only need a studio about Kokrokoo? Or Kokrokoo is only a one with management and the branding or Tom Prafinalia. And on nama out to say Obi Kaichi still Bob Mali. Hey, stick on a bokanich. Yeah. Hey, branding. Yeah. What do you mean MJ Michael Jackson? But I've seen that of Shatter, I've seen that of Stoneboy, I've seen that of Sarko Diamoniade. But if I had what's creative as for way? One with these recording studios and a bus cinemas, and also a villager the Icha movies. And I think that there's one Ghana Pram so. But it cannot be just one. Look, America has benefited a lot from its creative arts sector. And when Ghana started, in fact, in the 90s, Nigeria Tipene Ghana. Ghanaian movies and chairman with the Osofodazis and the Obra and all that. Chairman, not the Ghanaian movie industry, now it was on its ascendancy.
But we didn't
now,
support
if you go to Nigeria, share the number of movies they produce in a month. And you be in Ghana, And so I am happy Minister Awal is taking up this challenge. Catherine Abilima Afeku also started a fantastic job there. And I know about Barbara so no better also. I think let's pay keen attention to the creative arts sector. Emu actors, emu actresses, the producers. Because look, Obi-Wan will produce a movie. Onya just about 30,000 support. But Onya. And almost the core banks and the financial institutions as well. Unfortunately for them, they also it's like they don't see any future in that industry. When is that industry? There's also not a whole serious potential for the future. To me, I said this discussion, I think it's a chairman, it gets to a point you can bring Bright, you can bring the youth leaders for the major political parties, bring other stakeholders, and then the AGI.
Association of Ghana Industries.
Exactly.
I said we need to find out how do we incorporate. Esan say obi ascend me but I say I'm a technical person who attended a technical school, practiced my profession to a very high level, and wanted to pursue university education, but was highly frustrated in keeping to my technical field work and also at the workplace. I got so worried, I pursued a degree in accounting and finance at GIMPA. And interestingly, the same company which created the Wala for me has accepted me into the accounts department. So as far as I've said to myself, none of my children will go to a technical school. So as an ambassador, please help address these issues. Point well noted, Papa. This thing about the misconception about technical and vocational education training. And a quick one from Wiyanye Brapenyi Faya. He's an architect. And I'll say, let's not narrow down or let's not narrow the arts to say only music. It includes painting, carving, textiles, poetry, sculpture, movies, fashion, cultural drumming and dancing, and so much more.
Fantastic.
So it is broad. Let's look at it properly.
It's a big industry. Because the chairman, the support there. Ona adebia no so no developers so also area of competitive advantage. The drawing, the artist for no, say it's one a year is also coming up strongly. And obi one more accessories designer. This young lady Abna Safwa. Fantastic accessories designer. What called New York Fashion Week. You invited her for London and in Milan. For such a person, because I think there are many more of these people. Then I hear there's this lady, and also here says sculpture, or a lady, but Minkaidi, and also an excellent person in the field. But I quite say we focus too much on those at the limelight in terms of politics and in terms of business. But in the entrepreneurship sector, I think that is where a honor say and chairman, I keep saying, say only mebun yejuma. I had a huge challenge when I started as youth leader. Because I mean till I settled to understand them. They can get depressed easily. And they can give up easily. But when they feel say you are giving them hope, they also go along. So otifia no your board no biba benyane no see enko asem kodie tutu asem obeko. Why? Because chairman ote no man opano. Enko ko nko bi. To see enko action ho na ewie no benya 100 Ghana no anya no ni simanjole bi beje 20 bi afi. Ono de ne aka na so no ebetnase aye 1 or 2 when you be so the abakoma. Again, I also think that the worst we can do to the youth, and now we the worst that can happen to you is for you to say you give up. Because quitters don't win.
And winners don't quit.
And winners don't quit. These revelations are over Africa, about 68% of the youth now, between the age of 18 and 35 now, are almost unemployed.
That's scary.
That's scary.
Rebi, I have a friend Nana Joesifa. Ne papa ye Nana Sifa Trim, say when him the journalist Nana Sifa Trim. Now, I started so ye a great consum young woman. Nana come show so 35. I don't think so. Now, her interest in agribusiness is so high. My man, a few opportunities were her or the ababe did in Komo. So by Women in Agribusiness Awards. Now, Oshet direction or they qua. Maybe say Oba Ghana ha we should also some maybe a Maushiano. Netie, where she wants to take this thing to. Na ebia no hia mwa, ebia na ohia me yeka say I was sending me press release or say women in agri business mobile forum. Now it's quite interesting how they go about it here. And I'll say Ghanaians leading in the upcoming Women in Agribusiness Awards. No, Abobo Bogana for maybe the Agribusiness Awards on Babe and Omudi and Nimupa to say, and easy the kinds of things they're doing. I'll say Catherine Krobedu say of Eating Tree, Juliana Asante Date of Agri Impact, and Mabel and Akoto Kujo of Okata Farms. 2021 GIZ Women in Agribusiness Awards. So now talk about Germany.
Yeah.
And we all know that GIZ, I believe, is German for a year. And maybe it's about time we looked at all these things very critically. But yes, I mean, sorry, sir.
Chairman, again, I don't know if I'm saying that nonsense. Yes, the 5 fingers are not the same. Into policies now, it cannot need Nazu be geared towards entrepreneurship. Obi also a nitine dibuano.
Yeah.
Me, ocheme 10,000 CDs today. Meet me at Chini Namanasa.
Yeah.
And I can go home even with a loan. Miss Mayaren. Obi wo hoswa, omano sa amount of money. Obe kobeba in about 3 months' time, or they are building a business idea, a module, which is doing very well. Intino, only partner say identify where you think you can do well. Me, as a businessman, I'll struggle. Because one here, me squad here, boys in the UFI, Ombema duty nash. Something interesting happened last week at office on chairman.
Yeah.
And officer and youth back home. By Organa, me bano na okoye school beer or konam so school hen or kono bo senior high school ni din work. And I'm so ready man penny adaroma wa fa ho kano. 3 SH. So yes into this na be happen to work as na me check ade bi wo GS na the website. I'm so we no dey aban fa ho ka. Obo ade na na ma take say aban fa ho ka. For no ate us I say provisions dey aban fa ho ka. Now they were two in the room.
Yeah.
Into no yeah, I'm so okay the provisions they kakra on yen na. Then the other one no not on. Realizing that the way and then I'm say me con austerity line. I me check it cross check it. To the organa my toe bedding on I'm say I'm saying na Kolane the same. I don't say Sharon Samuel. I'm say masa. Bad the Samuel. Organa say they bunny and yahi and kai yahi fanko.
Sharon Samuel.
I've been married to one. I'm saying yeah, you me by way. All I'm trying to say is, what you say. They want to get involved.
Yeah.
They want to help.
Exactly.
But obisa na so obi mo ba. Now person obisa na dey potting or person ya. O si bibia.
Yeah.
No.
Oh bibia menya bia. Bibia there is not a solution. Oh bibia menya me ya there one. There was this guy. Came and says oh no. A more here person betimi anya second hand clothing for so 1 bill. Yetimi to no man no ogidi so betimi aton asan to be. I haven't seen this guy in 2 years.
Oh.
The last time I'm in a castle, oh, they say Niamani Koyo, they say with me famo.
Yeah.
Sometimes Obian. But as much as possible, the problem governments FAC is the unskilled youth population.
But you see also, is it not also because our educational systems and structures has been so focused towards Sewanko University and it is only Nyansa. One co university I just wa bon. One co university I just wunya adwuma bia anye. Intino as ye kwa nim no. Efe na
we're opening up.
We're opening up but a dear hwamo over a long period. She said obi there they sending me.
I think so.
Kwame, I'm a victim of technical and vocational education. I did HND. I suffered discrimination. I chatted in still. After 20 years experience locally and across Africa, University of Ghana, Legon denied me admission to pursue a master's program twice. I had to force myself before I finally got in. Reason? I didn't have a first degree. Why would I therefore send my child for non-university education? We're a sick nation. Right, when I had a child, yes.
It's true.
Let me read some of the reasons and my entire movies education near Unkrano they have been oriented by the current education structure to believe that they are more likely to acquire a job after completing a degree course as opposed to TVET programs and ICT. Most children perceive acquisition of degree to securing a white collar job and associate that to increasing the social status of their family and pride as start to being a degree holder. So you could see that this is what the system is offering
Right, and I think the way Kwame,
but so create for the quick one about creative arts free SHS is almost ready in Kumasi. And I think it's very strategic for the industry because 60% of the youth are arts oriented.
Years ago, Chairman, and Bright, before you come in, and I think our parents and so be more so. Money be on the share, a problem. Chairman, let me give you an example. May a left hand, may a left-handed person, and I was doing very well writing with my left.
Yeah,
and my son. My parents think no, it will be at the right nature. It's just you're left-handed, a mistake. To the extent say near the blade to charm and sign on kitty, send a bear, the plaster no betche. I was forced now to write with my right. But you can be left-handed and still do very well.
And those are people who write very well.
Everything biano me yet as a left-handed person apart from writing. I think so discussion was on our phone. Obi one man, the bunny was a change and so a pharmacist.
Exactly.
The so a lawyer.
Say
no discourage ya kolani casa person ye electrician or person say. Me ba girl who is 6 years. Anytime omo ye career day in school biano. Akole son do be fire woman. Fire service. Iti edu career but what's that? Need jesani man.
Yes.
Be an chairman. Only be obe inventing a fire tender. I mean, I can't. But if we demoralize a colana, that be say jumano. Enye anasenya na person ya right from the onset no. It be an interest a word you are shifting it towards BB. Then it gets to a point where you confused. Let me a chatty a new path, but no one succeeded there. There's a small girl free SHS or call Kokrokoo girls. Entered Kokrokoo girls with 08. Now, normal area until my adopting. The child do not finish school with 28.
With 20?
Yeah, with 28. Because emotional Nema will go through losing their mother, 2 weeks to exams, this child wanted to be an architect in future.
Okay.
And I said to be an artist. 28 chairman. But I felt say Akolano future or fat pencil on a paper. Chairman bit my draw out to it like that.
Yeah.
And the man said no, this child ever go private tertiary. And now no or and the kind of creativity with me I'm say boafo no and duaso now ahomahuso.
Yeah.
Right, let's challenge corporate Ghana.
Yeah.
Say it's not enough for us to just look at the building of toilets and chairman no started this your Kokrokoo Charity Foundation.
Yeah.
Now it's grown so big. One of your good partners is Dennis Educhum. I was with him in common. Dennis is a farmer too.
Yeah.
I hope you know that.
Oh, I don't answer on the every weekend to cry on the Nambono.
We say baby, I want to know. Only big platforms support government. Ni challenge the private sector. Say, look, when you have majority of your youth force not employed, that is when you also begin to feel the heat because they engage in nefarious activities.
But what would government also therefore do to cushion the private sector to support?
That is where the private sector must also now negotiate with government.
Yeah.
Say, if a portion of our revenue go into youth development and youth support, when it comes to ABR taxes, and mind you, government also gave tax waiver to companies owned by young Ghanaians below the age of 35. That's youth. Now we can move beyond there and say in terms you need AGI and you need corporate Ghana to also sit down with government and say, look, unemployment is a big case. And look, this year and the next year, Chairman, I don't want to kid you, times are going to be tough. Not just for Ghana, for Africa and the rest of the world. Because COVID, the extent of damage are here to the world's economy, to the African economy and to the Ghanaian economy. It cannot be underestimated. Uko UK now, government was giving support to unemployment natural because of the COVID. Now that support are now buying the amount. It ends in the month of June. So you are going to have a huge population of unemployed people too in the UK. They can no longer now depend on benefit. Now, I say so bad. Until now, no, what the show to say BBR government is going to do, and that is why when people say fix the country, it's a very good call. But government is already fixing the country. How can we also now challenge the other stakeholders? To say the private sector making that is the engine of growth. Because Chairman Momo Hey, with good a business environment, with good incentives, if the despite group first Mama Fabe 100 people and some support money negotiates, okay, a portion of our revenue is going to go into this. What is government also going to do to support us and negotiate? I think you can take on more people. And for me, I think relying on just the public sector will be harming the future of our government. Is doing its part, but government alone cannot do it, and that is why we need the private sector, not as an act of tokenism. Say, oh, we've for CSI set aside 100,000 cedis for CSI.
But
practical. A portion of our revenue every year now, this percentage for youth development. It could be in the support of startups and for the proposals, but for sound business, a bright toton, and for pepper, bro, but we say for pay. Say no, Obiana my own seat, Wakaso Kujama, no toton. But people will prefer my own and someone started bagibi, a package beer. Nicely packaged. Senebea, even whilst you pass along, no, you can also get some to buy. I think that the Ghanaian youth is very creative and when given the support. And I think this discussion is a fantastic one.
We should continue it.
Challenge corporate Ghana. I mean, that is where I'm.
We should continue it. Bright, because but we should continue. But Justice Abekuni, fair, Ekama Sembi Mami, or say Sami Ewuku is a very kind person, and that's no fluke at all. Just that he seldomly picks his phone calls. All of it all, God bless him. Abekwa Kamase Mama me pa.
Yeah, but that be bet now because yeah, intimi am pick up on fan chain, but he said we happen to be sending a message. Now that you've apologized, let's see if you pick up and I'm responding. Every after bed 2 weeks when you're not saying, but you see, these are the things Chairman complains about. But Chairman, let me apologize in advance. No, do no more. I know what you
say. Apologize in advance.
The Catholic school, the boss. I confess to the Almighty God and to you, my brothers and sisters, that I've seen through my own fault in my thought and in my words, in what I have done and in what I have failed to do. And I ask the Blessed Mary ever Virgin and all the angels and saints to pray for me to the Lord. I'll just say in what I have failed to do. And what I've done. We'll get better.
Having listened to the insightful discussion so far, all I can say is in somebody's voice, boys are bread. Say Obama in Pokuase. Boys are bread. And this one says, Chairman General, please let everybody now know that TVET has changed. You can actually pursue TVET up to the doctorate degree level. And that is my friend from Codverde Eunice. Thank you very much for that one. Says you can have a PhD in TVET.
That's welcoming. That's welcoming.
I know what Samir Oku is saying might sound strange to some people. I mean, about discouraging children. I've experienced it firsthand. I was taking my daughter to secondary school, and we got to talking about what career she would pursue. She wanted to be a marine biologist. Jokingly, I said she would end up working on the Kole Lagoon. Kwame, will you believe years later, she told me that because I said she would end up working on the Kole Lagoon, she abandoned that career. Kwame, as parents, we should be careful what we say to our children about their career choices. Wow.
Chairman, it's so true.
It's
right, me growing up.
Yeah.
I dare not chairman, but that is a casa I am a day. And even though I grew up in a house that never wanted to hear or see anything NDC, growing up as a child, anytime I papa J be back. Jackson Park in everyone because and I could be doing rapuni pa bubu man. But then I felt that business means me. But my passion was more towards public service. Any manual. See, when I gained even admission into St. Augustine's and I still felt say, even though my parents wanted me home there, just be not politics, they felt that no. Kusuya way. Me still the mindset was towards political science. So me call Legon, me and course call political science.
Oh, I see.
School of Agric. Now me call Professor Entry Dance, no a dean of student. So from first year Agric, they call second year as a prof. I don't know. Monsieur a cop, but many ho. Me then say, see a coy. It is that time I'm a Bobby posters man, first year university. Quick man, and I'm a deputy national security coordinator.
Okay.
Now, or no SRC president. And Tina Rocky Obi and Oye Western North Regional Minister and any spokesperson. And I may the around boy, I'm a Bob posters. But the posters time me born no crowd, man, yeah, send me Bob posters because I'm playing a role in the political activity. It's the second year, Rocky decides to go for SRC president. And I was opposed to them about first year and just let me graduate. I'm a spokesperson. Then the third year, I decided to contest for SRC with Lord Hammer.
Okay.
And then fast forward after school, I felt say no, I still wanted to play a role in it. I more AFAG and all that. Then the MPP also made me a deputy communications director. And I feel with the chairman, wow, Gumi, youth, I'm the youth leader, and I'm a the organizer. I've made mistakes along the way.
Of course,
and I always tell you, there were statements I made in the past and presented the same way. I keep telling you, and take position.
Take position.
That. And these are regrettable statements. I keep saying, sir, you see, when you start from a point, you do baby, I won't say, it will be a year, me, between you and I, many of the young people in the politics now, from these parties, Miami DMO and the others. Depending on me, Hernan Yamana or Yene, I have film Biamo, I make a Chalonia, when they actually break a car. We're lucky to have had people to also coach us. Yourself, Kweku Bako, Kweku Sechiado.
Yeah. These
three people, anytime I was on radio, were always tries. And I feel me most illustrious boss, Nanakumia. It's chairman who be an in the field. It's parents shouldn't also say Nipane Kwakoye artist. In the end, they say, it's not all about the money. It's about baby. I also don't know passion.
Mike Kokrokoo for your Sante, I'm a Saman constituency chairman of the NPP, says, great discussion this morning. Now, to promote technical and vocational trade, we also need to massively support the associated industries in these areas, such as woodwork, welding, spraying, etc. For example, a woodworker or carpenter working in IKEA or Bogas will not feel inferior to a white-collar colleague. That is where the issue is. Please tell Sami Ewuku that he is doing a good job, but he should try and pick his calls. Samuel Painting, USA. I
apologize. I'm the son by correspondence. I can hear you all after the program.
Wow, mommy. I see. Oh, you understand by correspondence. I know. Amenovi sends the last one I read from Amenovi says, I have listened to your fantastic discussions and submissions made by your panelists. We encourage them to take up technical and vocational education as a pre-university education, and while studying in these areas, they may choose to decide to pursue university education. Kwame, in the UK, sixth form courses are choice of individuals. College and apprenticeships are also individual choices. Students with HND 1 and 2 can pursue a master's degree in their field of education. We should take a look at apprenticeship leading to a university degree as well. Have a good day, Amenovi. Well, I remember the first time I brought this up, it was seen as, you say, you're lowering the standards. But well, right, but your conversation with Yantua Suchnana.
Yes, right. Anoma Doma East MP. That's one young MP who is also doing very well. I think there was a Crusading Guide publication Tuesday. I think. Paul.
Mini Papa.
Friend Anoma Nidiana. And also, corporate institutions must align CSR to government developmental agenda.
Exactly.
You see, when Inyana Sanwa, it makes it so good for all of us. Now, Yetimia Boa Mebuno, and yes, our bride, a better policies where you be little about, and then we will not be able to also make headway out of it. But so far, I think it's been a very great discussion, devoid of emotions.
Right. Also, I'm trying to answer.
I'm ever ready.
I couldn't have problem, no, but. I
think it's fair, but I also
because I want to bring in Professor Osafo from the University of Ghana Psychology Department. It's a young people and their thoughts and their frustrations, and from honestly the point of view as a psychologist, what are some of the maybe we'll hold me to me at the boy in general? It's just a conversation. This is like sitting at favorite you are yedin komo but at the end of the day no obi sutie I've been able to hobit media mind at the abua. We are not saying that we can solve the problems with a radio show, but we can offer solutions. We can dig up and bring up ideas.
There's a young guy who started a furniture business in a small container. A friend of Ifa.
Okay.
Today, most will see a high-rise building just around the Melcom side, Life Mate.
Exactly.
We're graduating from so small, in a container. So that the chairman may say, Ghana may be ideas, and only ideas or the be you, ideas or the be your mind you, and ideas or the best say your mind. It once you're able to harness their talent, now you're bound to also get to their destination. As a chairman, no problem. I think then,
let's continue this conversation tomorrow.
I think it's good you are focusing on the youth this week.
Let's continue this conversation tomorrow. We can just have a general discussion. Let's have a conversation tomorrow.
I think so.
So, Bright, you have time tomorrow. You're committing to it.
I have time.
8:30 tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh no, Debbie. 8:30.
Chairman, ebi mo yare ye different. No usimu no be me do wani mai. Isaac Frame. Me do 8, no, me do as a 8:45. Usi aba no be so the BBA show.
Into the do 8. Now momu fan share wa by 8:30 near started discussion.
And sunya me.
But ochina obeba.
Sunya me. Ochina meba.
Okay.
I'm committed to it.
Okay. Right. So Samuel Kwen Bright appear.
Emergency call.
Me da say.
It's enya say it's omo a normal day we program ya found say me to have been calling and texting,
me crowd the yem we bra me brand some meeting nya dem ha. But we'll continue this conversation tomorrow, and you heard him say be a bit me nya Professor Joseph Osafo from the University of Ghana Legon Babekan ho amongst others. Let's have a conversation about the youth, young people, and what they're thinking, what their fears are, what their aspirations are. Where have we gone wrong? Let's have a chat. And that'll be tomorrow morning. And once again, happy birthday to you, Andrew Opong Brenya, CEO of Sikapong Auto Trade Limited. Enjoy your day, Mr. Andrew Opong Brenya. Wishing you long life and God's blessings from your sisters, Efia and Rosemary, and from the entire Sikapong family. Enjoy your day. God bless you, Andrew. Wrapping up on this morning's edition. Thanking you as always for joining us by ear, voice, text, and eyes, especially for those of you who are watching. Congratulating Accra Hearts of Oak again. I know it doesn't feel good for some people, but it's okay. It's only a game. It brings us together. We tease each other in good cheer. To my brothers Obi and Omahini, especially Omahini, I hope you are man enough to congratulate me this afternoon. We're back again tomorrow morning. This conversation on young people will continue. Remember to keep your dreams and hopes alive. It's all you've got. And as I say all the time, especially if you're a young person, this morning I feel like telling you that my prayer is for you. It's in the book of Numbers 6:24-26, where it says very simply, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And as always, when you stop to say a prayer, remember to say one for me too. Thank you for listening. God bless. Good morning.
Peace FM.